Herm Schrader on the Dirty Mo Media platform from the middle of America in St. Louis, Missouri starts right now.
I'm ready. There was a lot of stuff happening this weekend.
Man, this should be a really easy show because look at this, guys. Two pages of stuff. Well, let's start with the fun. Kenny Schrader, you are the hero of the week. You were invited to the IROC race. So let's start to show off like that. And listen, there's a lot more. We're going to get to the three big things this week, but tell me about that IROC event.
You know how those races where they have this guy and this guy and this guy, and I was a cast of others. But I was invited because, first off, a lot of fun. And what Ray's doing there, Ray and Rob Kaufman, Everham and Rob Kaufman are doing there, it's pretty cool. And they're going to go out to Monterey this year, back out, just creating a lot of excitement, Possibly one day, who knows, there might be an IROC series again. But unlike the Cup cars where a team had, what have you driven? You've driven 50 Cup cars maybe, over your career? Yeah. Well, there was only so many IROC cars, and they're all documented. And to see those old cars and the history in them, it's pretty cool. And then the guys they had come out, Bill Elliott, Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, Pruitt. They had some heavy hitters there and a cast of others. So it was our own car. So I ran it in a very safe and courteous manner, and we had a lot of fun. Was it the new 10/10 track across the street from Charlotte Motor Speedway that Rick Hendrick and Marcus Smith built? And what a surprise. They built a real nice place. a beautiful facility. Might not be so much for racing because it's pretty narrow as it is for playing. But man, is it a beautiful facility.
I have a couple questions that I think are a lot of fun to ask that I heard all of you drivers talk about. A lot of these drivers are these are their own IROC cars. Did you purchase this IROC car? I know it was yours that you drove, but then Kurt Busch and Victor Lane said, yes, this was my IROC car. I had it sitting around, and we worked hard to get it ready to go. What was the balance there? Who owned their own IROC car?
That's a good question. I think 3 or 4 of us owned our cars.
Awesome.
Some of the other drivers had purchased cars, to run in these events. My car is like we ran it in '95.
Yeah.
Other than changed Ray got it all ready, changed the front end settings obviously for road course and stuff. But we're original engine, original brakes, original shocks, original everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm play racing. I just want to go out there and have fun. And man, just being around those guys, sitting, we all change clothes in a little 10-foot area in one of the haulers. And it's got chairs in there. And, it's just like 20 minutes before a driver's meeting years ago. Everybody's sitting around there just telling stories and just a lot of fun. And they had a lot of people come out for it. It's Auto Fair Week. Plus they had this, and they had some vintage Indy cars with us. And the next day they had the car show, I don't know what they call it, but, where people bring out.
There was a lot of good looking Ferraris there.
Yeah, they bring out the $1 million and $2 million cars and stuff. And they're going to turn that into a whole week of car stuff at Charlotte.
Can I ask a question? And I don't know if either one of you guys, I can't remember if either one of you guys had ever been to Goodwood or not, but that's kind of the impression I get with this track, because You know, I've seen it being built and everything and was curious, and it was nice to be able to actually see what the racetrack looked like. But I get an idea that this is almost kind of like an American Goodwood Festival, and maybe you'll give the chance for some Formula One drivers to come over and things like that, kind of like NASCAR goes over to Goodwood.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go twice, and dumb ass me turned it down. Once Mr. Hendrick, once with Childress, because I didn't want to miss 2 nights of dirt racing. That was dumb. But
Yeah.
you know, it's I kind of think you're onto something there, Alan. I mean, they're gonna try to create something. And boy, for a first year, well, I guess they had the car show part last year, but they're really accomplishing something there. It was awesome.
Okay, Kenny, the elephant in the room for you and I know my brain, the way it works, and I know the way your brain works. We got to race. Like,
yeah. Our brains work a little different. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
So we got to race, and we still, you know, at 60 and 70 years old, we think we're racers still. Like you said, our racing careers ended years ago, but we pretend to race real against the locals, you know. You said something that made me think about me now. You said, oh, I made a mistake. You know, I had to get back for that local feature there with the World of Outlaws. Do you wish now that you would have stayed the complete Heritage Invitational?
Oh, no. I mean, I would have liked to, but
yeah,
this wasn't about, we didn't come back so we could run Saturday night. We came back because Federated Auto Parts had a bunch of guests in the suite Saturday night. And then yesterday we did a play day with them at Peevely and ate dinner with them downtown St. Louis last night. So this was all, that's why we came back. I didn't come back just to run a feature. I came back
love this.
for work.
And Dietz, this is why Kenny Schrader keeps his sponsors so long. And this is good information for any kid out there, you know, trying to acquire sponsorship, you know, going out of your way, putting the effort into it. And thanks, Kenny. Thanks for letting us have a peek inside of why you really came back, because I know you and I joke a lot about, and you what?
And I got the race.
Yeah. And it just comes out, it squeaks out a little bit there, everybody.
And you know what's funny, Kenny, and I'm glad you brought that up about the kids, is at the end of the day, daddy's money can only take you so far. You get the cup or something like that, daddy's money's not going to do it. You're going to have a sponsor, and you're going to have to please them and do the things that's required of you. So I think that's a good lesson for the kids. Yeah,
good stuff. Okay, we're going to look in totality of this whole weekend. I have a strategy here, guys. Hang with me, please. I talked to your partner, Bob Sargent, yesterday evening around, say, 6 o'clock in the night on Sunday night. And I said, okay, I'm going to ask you a Kenny Schrader question. Were you shoulder to shoulder, and were you really sold out at Nashville? He said, yes. And I said, Bob, I don't think I've ever heard you say that. So hang with me here. I'm not done. Nashville sold out shoulder to shoulder, the Dale Jr. effect, at a racetrack that the mayor once shut down. So that proves to the mayor. Now let's go down to Bradenton, Florida with Cletus. I'm down there with Cletus, and we're shoulder to shoulder. They got a blinking sign out front, sold out, sold out. Now we look at the Heritage Invitational. You know, whether they were sold out or not, they were announcing sold out. So we have, here's the moral of the story. We have 3 throwback events. Old NASCAR fans, old cars. Dale Jr.'s back at Nashville. Kenny, in your opinion, what is it people want to go back so badly?
I don't know. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. First off, let's take Nashville. It was a cars event. Now, Dale Jr. was a huge, huge, huge part of it. It was also a good race, a good series at Nashville, which still does some pretty good crowds sometimes. Dale Jr. made all the difference in the world. But they're not going to keep that place open because of Dale Jr. being there and selling it out once a year, you know? The IROC crowd it was over capacity, but it's a small number. It's still a small number. It's an event that's not. It's a facility that's not designed for spectator events. So it's still a small number. Your deal at Cletus's, I don't know a lot about it, but it has nothing to do with old NASCAR. You know, that's Cletus's whole platform is excitement and, you know, just entertainment. So I don't see a burning desire there for old NASCAR. I saw, I was at Peevely Saturday night, and our spring 2-day outlaw show is always softer crowd than the August outlaw show, but it was a great spring show crowd for Saturday night. It was good. I just think that the racing deal still has a good following. They don't mind going and paying their ticket and showing up when they have good weather and when they know they're going to see a good event. But I don't see a correlation there between old-time NASCAR.
Can I ask a question of both of you guys? I was surprised by the crowd at Nashville. I know you might have been there, Kenny Schrader, when the SRX race was there, and it was full. For that, you had Chase Elliott, and that was the big draw there. If you look at Bristol, the crowd was not there yesterday.
It's empty all the time, though. So that's been going on for 20 years now.
Well, no. I know that, but what I'm saying is, if you think of it from a sponsor standpoint, is it better to have 17,000 fans at Nashville and it's overflowing, or is it better to have 60, 70,000 fans at Bristol but it looks empty?
Well, I'm going to give my opinion on that one first, Schrader. No doubt in my mind, we don't know anything we're talking about, right? Because, we don't know everything, the numbers, how much TV is going to pay. But it's definitely a better look, to have a small restaurant packed, we can't get in here to eat because there's 30 people in here and it's full occupancy. And then what's that do? That creates a line out the door. People want to get in where it's sold out. So Nashville's definitely the place to be with, Kenny knows more than I know, but they said 12,000 people. Sorry, yeah, Kenny, you go now.
That would be, yeah. But we agree the excitement maybe at Nashville because of a capacity crowd, that creates excitement. But when we take the crowd at Bristol, whatever it was, I would guess it was between 20 and 25% of capacity, whatever that number is. That's just a guess.
It's a big number.
Yeah. But it was 25%, which is a hell of a lot bigger number than was at Nashville. But then you add in the TV audience for the Bristol race. I don't know. I think, obviously to be a major player at Bristol cost a hell of a lot more than to be a major player at Nashville. It's all percentages.
Yeah.
You want to be a major player here and spend $50,000, or you want to be a major player over here and spend 100 or $1 million, whatever.
So then, if you look at Bristol, let's say it was, like you said, Kenny. Let's say it was a third full, maybe it was a third full. So you take the spring race away from Bristol, and you only have one race at Bristol, the night race. That makes everybody have to go back for that one race. So now you get to 75 or 100% full. So are we in a place where we see a date go away from Bristol and maybe SMI gets back involved with Nashville or Rockingham or something like that? Or are they better off with 2 dates and having it a third to half full for those 2 races?
Well, obviously that's a SMI question. What's better for them? But okay, let's say we're shoulder to shoulder capacity and just ballpark. We're going to use 12,000 as a number at Nashville, and we're complaining about, it's terrible that we only got 30,000 at Bristol. And we're just throwing out numbers. It's terrible. We only got 30,000. Okay, we got 12,000 with capacity. Where are we going to put 30,000 if we tried to go to Nashville? I mean, I'm sorry. Nashville event is great, and I don't know all the politics there, but there's a big group that doesn't want the Speedway there. And it's not going to be there long term, in my mind, because there's no friggin' place to put the people or the trucks or the trailers or anything. They've used up all the ground. It was little when I went there in 1984. It didn't get no bigger,
Well, now it's worse because you got the soccer stadium there, so you really don't. That, to me, when they put that soccer stadium there, that killed any chance to get an O'Reilly race or a Cup race at Nashville, at the fairgrounds.
Yeah. We got a beautiful facility that was started with a clean slate of paper 40 miles away. So why don't we just keep going there? It's been supported pretty good.
Hello, everyone. Race car driver Kenny Wallace here. With 128 dirt wins and 6 championships, we know our fabricating right here at Wallace Racing. I want to show you some of the best drill bits I've ever used in my life. That's right, can cut drill bits. And I want to show you on our fabrication area why I like these bad boys so much. All right, they come in a nice little tote here. That's awesome. Everything stays in that area that you want it to. Let's just grab a drill bit. All right. This looks like maybe a 3/16 drill bit. Of course, we got a lot of fabrication skills. Bam, right there. What I like about this bad boy, it's got a really good point, a better point than any drill bit I've ever used in my life. Brody, let's show them this race car. We're full of drill bits here. We got, drill there, pop rivet. My dirt car has more pop rivets than you'll ever see in your life. And we need these bad boys. I want to show you what I like about this. Watch this. Bam. These things are built to last. High-speed steel all the way through. So you're not burning through the bits every job. And the 135-degree split point means no pilot holes. That's what I was just talking about. Just pull the trigger and go. Bottom line, you save time, you save money, and you get the job done right the first time. Check out KNKUT.com. Once again, that's KNKUT.com. Use code DIRTYMO for 25% off. Don't mess around. Use what the pros use. Let's look at this at a different perspective. Now listen, everybody, the reason we're talking about this subject, and we're going to end here in a minute, is because it was Dale Jr. this weekend. Right now we got the big three. We got Dale Jr., Cletus, McFarland, and Michael Jordan. So we're talking about what's hot in racing right now. One thing I really noticed here is that our buddy Michael Rigsby, who ran Flow Racing, made a deal with the NASCAR. And by the way, congratulations to Michael Rigsby. He just got put in his, I think his high school or college Hall of Fame. He just put a picture of his trophy. But Michael Rigsby, the boss at Flow. Kenny, your Heritage Invitational was live on Flow. The Nashville was live on Flow. Brilliant move by NASCAR to put these events on Flow because, in my opinion, NASCAR cannot mess with the big bird. They can't mess with NBC or Fox. But yet you go down here, you spend $300 a year, and you get hundreds of racing. But I could watch you. You were at the Heritage Invitational. It came in clear. I mean, that's a really good move by NASCAR to team up with Flow. What is your thoughts on that?
God, that part's all. I got enough problem going around the circle. You know, that part's way over me. But you know, the streaming, you know, between Flow and Dirt Vision and Track TV, Speed Sport. There's so many different people that are streaming races now. You never have to leave your couch to go watch all the races. Oh, is that a good deal? That's not too good a deal if you own a racetrack. So who knows? We have to see where it lands, but it's affecting the industry big time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just excited that I could watch you, and that was my point. And I could watch Nashville. You know, it could be blacked out, which is fine, but it was a win-win for all of us to be able. And by the way, I'm down there in Bradenton with Cletus, and he had over 100,000 subscribers watching this thing live. So, you know, we're not going to put the cap back on this. You know, it's like Travis Pastrana said. He said, I've had fun my whole life trying to make a living. And here, you know, I was talking to Travis Pastrana, and he broke all these bones up. And here comes Cletus showing the X game industry how to do it. It's just this streaming, if you do it right. I sure did enjoy watching the Heritage Invitational and, of course, Nashville. And then I watched you race on Dirt Vision. I watched you, you know, when the World of Outlaw late modify or sprint car, World of Outlaw sprint car race is over. I watched you run the mod, and it was fantastic. Hell of a race, by the way.
Those guys were going in it. I thought they'd all wreck, and I still had a shot.
You ran good, Kenny. I like the way you ran the bottom there. That was, you know, you and I can go high or low, but that was the lane, middle to bottom, and you had it right away from the beginning. Good finish.
All right, let's go to something important.
Here we go again, everybody. We have a winner in the Cup Series that is controversial. We know that Ty Gibbs is a great race car driver. We just had Ty Gibbs on Kenny Conversation. And so I know a little bit, right? Because we had over an hour conversation with Ty Gibbs. And I asked him all the questions everybody would want to ask him. I said, okay, Chris Gabehart, you know, talked badly of you in the lawsuit. You know, it's like Bill Elliott says, timing and circumstances. So right as this lawsuit's happening, trying to make Ty Gibbs look bad, he wins the race. You know, and they talk about it. The reason we're talking about it is because that's what they're talking about. Great interviews with the mama after the race. Kenny, just good timing is all I'm saying. A great timely win for Ty Gibbs because of the situation at hand. What is your thoughts about that?
All right, I'm not up on all the lawsuit stuff, but all I know is Ty Gibbs obviously has been in good equipment. You sit in all that equipment, you got to steer the damn thing, you got to work the pedals, you got to make all the decisions, and he made those decisions right in the ARCA series and the Xfinity series or whatever it was when he was running it, and he's fourth in points, and we're however many races in. He's been there all year long. He was one of those guys that was knocking on the door. You knew it was going to happen. You didn't know exactly what race it was going to be, but he's been in a position to win. It's easy for people to pick on him because you can, it can be perceived as, he's had a silver spoon or whatever. He's done it. He's done it. Losing his daddy and stuff like that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I was very, very happy for him. I was happy for Coach. That's a big deal. And it's not one of those deals where 3 of them wrecked or the yellow come out at the right time or everything. Everything was stacked against him. Late yellow, Ryan took on 4 and Kyle took on 2. I mean, it got set up for him to lose that race, and he stayed true to his top and running his deal, and he did a great job. So hats off to him. That was a great job, and they've been running strong all year long.
Yeah, Claire B. Lang had a nice interview with the mother. Now, remember, the mother was the one in the courtroom during this complete NASCAR lawsuit. So she's been through it all. Lost her husband, trying to save Joe Gibbs Racing. And Claire B. Lang interviews her, and she says, this year has been special because the team has felt the heat. And when you feel the heat, you tend to glue to each other. They're having a good time. And Kenny, you brought up a good point. Deets, you might look it up. I think he's got like 6 top 10s in a row, or you cannot be 4th in the points. But he's been rolling. And I just, from my perspective, I loved your perspective, Kenny. I've got to know him more. And if you really want to know if a person's liked or not, now I know you don't agree with this, but I go to Instagram and he makes a post and you can see the high-end people that matter. These are people that matter, and they're congratulating him. So people that know Ty Gibbs behind the scenes, he's a good kid. So congratulations to Ty Gibbs. Hey, Kenny, it was kind of neat, kind of looking at it from this perspective. You had the Blaney family, right? Dad Dave, Grandpa Lou Blaney, that family tradition on the bottom of the track. They dropped the green flag. You got the Joe Gibbs family tradition on the outside. They raced each other clean, and you could see Ryan Blaney pedaling that thing off of 2. He gets a little loose. Man, I mean, one hell of a clean finish, and it was a good one.
Bristol, I got to see part of it, parts on and off, but it almost had, because I'm going back to 1900 something, but when everybody loved Bristol because you had to move somebody to get past them. Then they made it where you could race 3 wide, but no one liked it anymore because they didn't have all the wrecks. Well, it almost had a little old Bristol to it yesterday. People were wrecking and stuff. I don't know. Bristol still, I like it much better now than when it was 1 lane. They can actually race on it now, put on a hell of a show. Pick your groove, top or bottom, And I thought it was a fantastic event. So I'm going to ask you right now, the survey.
Oh,
for yesterday.
Let me look.
I love
let's
that survey.
look. It gives you a really good look. Okay, here we go. Jeff Gluck, everybody. 2 hours into it. Was Bristol a good race? 65% say yes, 35% say no. And I can promise you, the reason only 65% it was a good race, and I'm honest when I say this, is because Chase Elliott got wrecked out and he did not run good. That is the meter, and I'm not even being a smart. If Chase Elliott wins or runs up there, it is unbelievable how big his fan base is. But that's the reason it's only 65%. But still, it's good, guys.
Oh,
how could you have a?
That's great. We've had good numbers all year.
Right. No.
Hey, and just to answer your question, Kenny, or Herm.
It's okay.
We're both Kenny.
That's funny.
Right.
Ty.
What's his name? Ty Gibbs has finished in the top five of the last 6 races, and in the 6th race, he was 6th at Darlington. So he's finished no lower than 6th in the last 6 races.
That's phenomenal record.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, why is he not leading the points?
Well, the reason he's not leading the points is because he finished terrible at Daytona and Atlanta. But I'd say those were both wrecks.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Ty Gibbs, everybody. We done determined that, maybe not now. We'll get started on the next segment, but I sure do like that top 10, Dietz. You know, I like that top 10 if you get that.
No, I got it. I got it right now.
Kenny, go ahead, buddy. We'll wait on you.
Okay, so Ty Gibbs was the winner. Ryan Blaney was second. Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe. 6th was Todd Gilliland. They, I think at one point took no tires, and that ended up really playing out well for them. Joey Logano was 7th. Ryan Priest, Denny Hamlin, and Carson Hocevar. And the points, let's see, Tyler Reddick is the points leader, 107 over Ryan Blaney. Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Ty Gibbs, Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Chris Buescher. And by the way, William Byron, God, that's the worst maybe I've ever seen that 24 car miss it. They were just out totally in left field. And they mentioned it on the broadcast. I don't know what the issue was, but they were never competitive yesterday.
Hey, Kenny, this is not on my notes, but I'm just going to go off Dietz. That old Bill Elliott quote, timing and circumstances. You know, Alex Bowman comes back, right? He's been roughed up. Everybody, does feel bad for him. He flips the sprint car 2-3 years ago, breaks his back or whatever it is. Then he has this happen. Boy, I'll tell you what, Kyle Larson ran good. We got 400 cars, but I feel I can't help but feel a little bad for. I mean, I know it's a big boy sport. You and I, licked our wounds, but boy, you gotta have a hot rod. Alex Bowman comes back and he gets in a wreck right away, and teammate doesn't run good.
Elliott
Can it
didn't
be
run
timing?
great either.
Yeah, there you go. So you got 3 of the 4 that don't run. Is it timing and circumstances, Kenny? Can it make you look bad?
No, well, there's some to that, but the main timing is when you look bad. The main part about that timing is it's taking you too long to go around the lap. You're just too friggin' slow. You gotta go back. That's the main part about our sport and timing. If you go around that circle faster, everything gets better.
Boy, no kidding. Anyway, just a shout out to Alex Bowman. But, listen, I'm going to say this in jest, having fun here. I think he gets a pass because Chase Elliott and William Byron ran so bad. It's kind of back in our day, Kenny. Man, we didn't qualify good. We qualified 20th. But Earnhardt's 22nd. Well, look, Earnhardt didn't qualify good either. Yeah. Okay. Man, we got to talk about these finishes. I mean, forget about the crowd. This truck race and this O'Reilly race. We are switching subjects, everybody. These races were incredible. Christopher Bell has to hold off Caden Honeycutt. Honeycutt's going to win this thing. He's got Christopher Bell on the outside, Kenny. I don't know if you saw any highlights, but it was one for the ages. And you're on the edge. Oh, he's got him. And listen to this. Caden Honeycutt's teammate did not move high or get out of the way, for Caden to win it. Man,
Remember that happened at Rockingham.
Yeah, what is
Same
going on
thing.
there? What is going on there?
Yeah, you got to be pretty aware of, obviously your situation, but you got to be aware of your partner's situations too. And on Sundays, if you're not leading, this is the way it was. At least this is the way I did it. But if you're not leading and there's just a couple laps to go and you're getting ready to get lapped, I'm sorry, when you know it's inevitable, you get out of the way and don't screw over either one of them. Now, if it's your teammate coming, you might, leave him a little more room than the other car. But you're supposed to let him go.
Well, and even yesterday, Brad Keselowski, Mr. Ford, he didn't get out of Blaney's way whenever Ty Gibbs was running him down before that last caution came out. So I don't know. I don't understand some of this stuff. I will say, and I know you're going to, go ahead, Kenny.
But Brad was still in the lead lap at the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And I guess, again,
you're fighting for your life until it's inevitable,
Another takeaway from this truck race is yesterday on Trackside Live, I was at Bristol for Trackside Live. So we have Christopher Bell. It was a heartfelt win because his, it's like Tony Stewart once said to me. He said, one thing we got in common, and I looked at him like big old silver dollar eyes. I'm like, we don't have anything in common. He goes, yes, we do. Dirt racing. So Christopher Bell looks at Stuart Friesen. So Christopher Bell is driving one of Stuart Friesen's trucks and wins the race. In victory lane, after the race, Stuart Friesen is really giving a good bear hug to Christopher Bell because they like Christopher. Christopher drove the truck at Watkins Glen. Kenny, Christopher Bell he was very emotional on Trackside Live because he felt so bad about Stewart's big wreck. He's trying to come back. He was happy to give this team a shot in the arm with that truck win. Do us dirt racers, do we have something in common? Do we like seeing dirt racers show up in NASCAR?
Just racers. But yeah, I mean, we all got, stick together just a little bit. But, yeah, I mean.
dirt Racers Union.
Yeah, but I mean, Christopher's just what I've been around him, everything I've always heard about him. He's just a real good young man. And here he gets an opportunity to drive a good truck for a team that he looks up to Stewart a bunch because of Stewart's, record. It's been great. And they're able to deliver. So that's great. Now, you said about Stewart. Okay, being as we have no real pattern here. He won yesterday, right?
Oh, did he? Well, on Kenny Conversation, he says he flies home on Sunday mornings. He makes, Stuart Friesen does make a big effort because there's a track that runs on Sunday. So I didn't know that. Tell me more.
No, I'm switching. Tony Stewart.
Oh.
You said you're talking to Tony Stewart.
Oh, yeah. Two Stewarts. Oh, where did he win at? In drag racing.
Yeah, at Pomona.
It was Pomona. It's a big deal.
Wow. Yeah. I guess I was, yeah. And his wife qualified number 1 in Top Fuel. So
they pay at the end of the day.
It was still it's nice though. She's, her first year back after having a baby. Okay, moving on, everybody. That was the truck race. Now, the O'Reilly Auto Parts race gets better. Not better, but about the same. So in the O'Reilly race, Kyle Larson, he's complete domination. And it's all about put tires on, don't put tires on. And the high side's where it's at. But Brent Cruz runs the bottom and makes that. Kenny, you're right. Earlier you said that it looked pretty even. And in the O'Reilly race, the bottom, if you had a good car, Brent Cruz made time on the bottom. But all of them made a mistake except Connor Zilisch. Brent Cruz went a high. He got loose, got in the wall. Kyle Larson, he overstepped. He got loose. And Connor Zilisch he wins it. But these races were really good. Actually, guys, all 3 races came down to the very last lap coming to the finish line. Big week at Bristol. Hard to say it was not good, but Kenny, did you watch any of that O'Reilly finish?
No, I didn't get to see any of the O'Reilly race because I was working.
Well, let me serve this up to you. people don't give anybody time. They're mad if you do good. I say that in fun, okay? Oh, the cry out there is, Connor Zilisch not no good. He's taking forever to run good in Cup. Is it good medicine? Is it good medicine to go back to O'Reilly and outrun Kyle Larson?
Oh yeah, yeah. Anytime you can win
I
a
was
race,
thinking
no matter
that.
where. Yeah, anytime you can win a race, it's it's good medicine. I don't remember if I was somewhere or watched it or whatever, but a really good Mario Andretti interview. And they asked him, back in the day when he was running all these different things, how did he decide where he was going to go run? He said, wherever I had the best chance of winning. Now, he didn't say
Larry Phillips.
He didn't say where he had to. Well, Larry was a little different because Larry went wherever he had the best chance of making the most money.
Yeah.
Racing
for a living.
Money and winning, you go run this race that doesn't pay as much as running this other race, but you win this and you get excited about that. So it was just pretty neat. But yes, winning anything helps your ego.
And I think, again, it shows that just like with Ty Gibbs, in their championship years, they go out there and win 10 races or whatever it is. And then it takes Ty Gibbs 3 or 4 years to win a Cup race. And Connor Zilisch is learning that now. It just, again, reiterates how tough the Cup Series is. You don't necessarily think it's that big a step. And the other thing is Brent Cruz. He's the next superstar, I think, coming. Had he had a little bit more experience, I think he'd have won that race Saturday easy. But, you got to learn. You got to get up there. You got to figure these races out and how they play out. And he hit the wall a couple of times and it cost him, but he's really taken to these O'Reilly cars quick.
I would think you can answer this, Herman. It's got to be easier to run. I would think it's easier to run the bottom with the Xfinity car just because not quite as much horsepower. The little less having to worry about feathering the throttle on exit.
Oh, 100%. I can remember when Jeff Gordon first came in. And Kenny, I'm going to put it in your lane. Jeff Gordon told me when he first started racing, he was running open wheel midgets. And he went over and drove, whether it was champ sprint cars or non-wing sprint cars, whatever it was. But Jeff Gordon said when he went back into an open wheel midget, he felt like he was driving a toy. So, yes, you got more horsepower in the Cup car. Now, I know you know all this. You just served it up to me. And I want to change subjects. I want to get my shot in right here because, we all got something in our craw. What we all just said is another reason I think this is me, utterly ridiculous when somebody does good in truck or O'Reilly and you put them in the Hall of Fame right next to Jeff Gordon. Because of everything we just said. Did y'all hear yourself? Oh, Cup's so much harder. Takes 3-4 years to get used to it. That's all. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm just saying, I hear a lot of people talking, Richard Petty. Boy, that wall from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series over to Cup, it's tall. Oh, really, Richard? So, anyway, I'm done with that. I just, while y'all were going, I was thinking to myself, okay.
Sounded like you weren't done, but go ahead.
Pisses me off when you I don't deserve no Hall of Fame, nothing, zero. I was a C+ race car driver, thrilled to death. But when I hear these guys win 25 truck races, they need to stand next to Jeff Gordon. I'm like, beep, back it up, boys. I don't think people realize how good Jeff Gordon is. This guy is a gift from God. And yes, I went that far and I said it. He's unbelievable. And there's just got to be a little something different for people like that. Kenny, the older I get, I don't mind bragging on great drivers. When I was younger, I hated it because I'm the greatest, but the older I get, I start getting a little smarter. They are really good. Okay, wow, that was calm down, Wallace. What the hell's wrong with you? Okay, now we're gonna go off the rails here. Kenny, this one, I mean, complete different subject. We're done with NASCAR. Let's have fun, everybody. You know, Crystal Rose Wimpy. Wimpy decals my car. But Wimpy grew up around the great dandy Don Klein. Don Klein, our hero. I know he's your hero. I noticed something this week that made me think. Yes, we race year round. Yes, we race year round. But this was the week that racing really got going. I mean, it was racing galore. Dandy Don Klein told Wimpy, and Wimpy told me, Don Klein said, local racing should start after Easter. Now, we've switched subjects. I just saw so much racing this week. It's like, did all racing just start?
It was.
What's your thoughts?
It was after Easter.
About that.
It was after Easter. Rex Merritt told me that he had to deal with his wife, had to cut the grass 2 times before he'd go racing.
That's awesome.
2 times before he'd go racing. But no, I mean, that's local. It started earlier and earlier over the years. It used to start May 1st. So whatever. And
it depends on the part of the country. You know, I mean, in Florida, they always raced year round. And this weekend, they had the icebreaker up at Thompson. That's in Connecticut. And I know they started running out in the Pacific Northwest. But I agree with you. It seems like everybody started now at this point.
Our racetrack, the one that me and Kenny love, they haven't even started local racing yet. So the real racing starts this, Saturday, April 18th. Finally, the local series will all be running up until then. It's been,
but I think your schedule has you screwed up, because the real racing at the track you're talking about started like 3 weeks ago, and you just weren't racing yet. It was actually 3 weeks ago when they had a bunch of cars there racing 2 nights in a row. The fact that you hadn't raced yet, because you haven't raced your race car yet this year.
So like Kenny likes to pick on me, and like Schrader says, we play off each other very well. You're wrong. You're wrong. No, Kenny, I love you like a brother. You're just having fun. Real racing starts this Saturday night. They haven't even run any of the divisions yet. They've still got 4-cylinder sportsmen's. The real racing starts this Saturday night, where everybody, the local racing, we've had all specials up until now. But I'll give it to you because you're older than me and you're the boss. That's the way that works, everybody. And that's also the way I get along with my brother, Rusty. People say to me, how do you get along with Schrader and Rusty? I say, it's simple. You let those guys stand 1 inch taller than you.
You keep doing it and everything will work out just fine, buddy.
That's what Rusty says. Yeah, it's one of my strategies. Hey, Wallace, you never won a cup race. How'd you make it this far? I'm like, the guy that ran the WWE, he says, oh God, I can't even say it. It's so bad. But yes, I'll put chapstick on every once in a while. Because when you get to this point, you got to kiss a little everybody, and you just put on a little chapstick before you kiss. It makes everything go easier. All right, you liked that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've heard it before. How do you get along with your brother and Schrader? Oh, it's simple. Always let them be bigger than you. Don't challenge them. But we got a good show going on here. So we will start real racing this Saturday, where all the divisions for the first time this year will be at I-55 Federated Auto Parts Raceway. So everybody come out this Saturday. Okay, so Schrader does agree we should start after you cut the grass 2 times. That's funny. We are man, we're already at that point in the show. We got dirt racing, man, galore. Before we get to jokes, Kenny, Bobby Pierce in that line nine, I'll just kind of serve it up to you right there, and then you watched everything at Peevely.
Well, Little Shepherd won Friday night. Saturday night it was Pierce. Didn't Hoffman run second or third? I mean, that's going to be point battle.
It's those two every week.
Yeah. And then the sprint cars, World Outlaw sprint cars, were at Peevely, and Kofoid won. I wasn't there Friday night. Kofoid won Saturday night by 14 100ths over gravel. They run top, bottom, middle. Schuhart started 25th, run 7th. I had to go to the work area one time, go back to the back. Davenport won 2 nights in a row at Lucas Oil. I don't know. I know Lucas Oil Racing was off, and High Limits were off because Rico was at Peevely for the outlaw stuff. So, and there was a ton of dirt racing. I can't keep up with it all. But yeah, it's full blast now.
Shout out and congratulations to Bobby Pierce and his new wife, Abby Jo. She made a fun little video. She goes, "Oh man, I haven't been to the races in a month. I hope things go good." Well, she goes back after a nice wedding. I saw a lot of the videos. Bobby Pierce out there dancing with his mother. You know, it's funny when you see a lot of dirt racers that are really cleaned up, really nice wedding. You know, I guess in my mind, I'm looking for this redneck wedding, you know, Dietz. You get it, don't you? It's like, how can dirt racers have a nice wedding? But Bobby Pierce's wedding was beautiful.
It's like tuxes and dirty fingernails, you know?
Congratulations to Bobby Pierce and Abby Jo. They get married and he goes back to the racetrack, and he had a tough night on Friday night, but the 25,000 win, I think, and he won that at Farmer City, Illinois, the Illini 100. His third Illini 100. I think it's safe to say Bobby Pierce is the man. He's not a kid anymore. Well, you mean to tell me we're already at jokes?
That was a quick 2 pages. You went through.
Well, I was going to go to Cletus's longer, but when I'm with Schrader, I like to humble myself because he gets pissed when I brag on myself.
Well, tell us.
I had a whole page. Oh, is it okay?
Yeah.
You notice when I win and things, Dietz, I don't bring it up.
Oh, did you win?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, that's right. You didn't bring it up.
Did you hear what Kenny said? If I say I win, you'll edit that out.
No.
Cletus's deal was, here's what I noticed about, I know why he's such a superstar now. I saw it. It's because there are so many people there from so many different areas in life. You got Travis Pastrana. You got these guys that do this drifting. You got guys that are rally racers. It's just not NASCAR fans. It is, have you ever, Dietz, and Kenny, I know you haven't, and I mean that respectfully. Have you ever looked at the big crowds that these drifting races get and this rally? It's through the roof.
Yeah. I remember hearing years ago that part of the reason NASCAR made the COT like they did was because they were trying to attract younger audiences with the wing and the drifting and rally cars and stuff like that, and it didn't pan out that way, obviously, but because the cars are so much different. But yeah, I mean those drifting events, and it's amazing too. Whenever I watch them online and stuff like that, you're sitting there looking at it, you're like, those cars are going to hit, and I don't know if I've ever seen them hit before whenever they do those drifting events. I mean, they get right there, but they never hit one another.
They get scored on that. I checked into that. I'm like, well, okay, you're drifting, but what's the deal? They said, well, they got judges, and you get scored the closer you are, and then they go vice versa. But there were people that come up and said, I come down from Detroit, Michigan. I come from Pennsylvania. And I mean, like, wow. Of course, it's easy to go down to Sarasota, Florida, drive on over to Bradenton.
But one thing about that, Kenny, though, is a lot of people will sit there and say, well, why can't we get a crowd like that for a late model race at Freedom Factory? Those people don't care about that. They don't. They are into the nitrous and the tires and the rims and all that kind of stuff. They could care less about a late model. It just doesn't. It doesn't transfer.
Well, he puts on a show, Kenny Schrader, and it doesn't stop. Our partner Bob Sargent. When we were talking last night, I said, Bob, I said I was watching the broadcast. Dale Jr. was passing for 15th or 20th, and the crowd was roaring. And Bob said, I had to look down, and, it's like the fans thought he was passing for the lead. And it's kind of the same thing over there at the Freedom Factory. I mean, they take these vans in their front wheel drive, they cut them in half, and they put these skis on the back. And these people are roaring. Bob Sargent says it best. They just want to be entertained. And in ending, that's what Cletus does. He entertains people. And that's what I saw. So a big shout out to you don't wait. It's like when one event's over, you don't wait 10 minutes. It's like it never ends. So shout out to Cletus and everybody that was down there. 27 cars. I finished fourth. And I'm going to tell you what, we hit so hard. Kenny, what did you notice when you ran that Crown Vic car down there for Steve Stevenson? Did you ever hit anybody and think I'm out of the race?
Racing etiquette, you know what the hell I mean, is not, doesn't relate to Crown Vic. Yeah. It was fun.
Oh my God. And they'll run these Crown Vics at 8 racetracks. They're going to be at Indianapolis Raceway Park. They're going to be at Berlin. They're going to be at Stafford. And the reason that these promoters want these races, because they make so much money. It's sold out before they even go there. Okay. Cletus got it going on. I think Cletus wants to run NASCAR. I don't think Cletus needs NASCAR. He's like Barstool Sports. They say Barstool makes all its money in merchandise sales. And when I check Cletus out, his warehouse blows me away. When Travis Pastrana says Cletus has got it going on and he's taught the industry, it's pretty strong. So, okay. Jokes.
Okay, so Schrader, I know you don't have a lot of faith in these, but we'll see how this one pans out. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie? Sophisticated. First. Okay. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince. Prince.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring? Pilgrims. May flowers.
Oh. Good.
That one's almost a riddle.
I remember.
Okay.
What does the fish say when he hits the wall?
I don't know.
Damn.
It's the damn.
Yeah. And it's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Kenny, we did stroke this deal out. We're approaching an hour. Not too bad. What are you doing this weekend?
Damn good question. I don't know. But I've got 7 or 8 places possible for Friday and 7 or 8 possible for Saturday. And we're going.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. I will be running the Brownstown Bull Ring this Friday in Brownstown, Illinois. And I will be running I-55 Federated Auto Parts this Saturday. My race season has started, and I'm excited to get back. I think that's it, everybody. Like we say all the time, if you want to watch us, see us, tune into the Kenny Wallace YouTube show or podcast and listen to Herm Schrader on your way to the next racetrack. Until the next Herm Schrader show, see you next time, everybody.
Bye.